So we are at 6 Eagle Point in Castle Pines Village right now. We have an open house that we are visiting with some friends. So we have quite a few of our friends walking around, taking a look at the home. In here we've got the garage spaces. It's really very intricate home. Really a big fan of the hand-carved trim and everything else that we can see inside. So as we stated before, we've got some cars at the house tonight. Got a McLaren GT, which I actually happen to be a very big fan of. 720 platform. I think it has everything that you need for what you want in a GT car. I think it's properly called the GT. But the subtleties of it, I actually wish it was in an uglier color. And what I mean by that is I think some of the Porsches that aren't race spec look so good in like a root beer brown or like a pea soup green, or something that's just a little bit off and not so flashy. So this car to me is a very cool car to think of as something far more practical. I'm not one to speak about that because I drive some of the least practical vehicles on the planet because I like to ruin them. But when I see this, it makes me feel like an SL Mercedes, or it makes me feel like I'm riding in a GT3 and not an RS, or in a good touring car. So really excited when I see these. And then we've got Chris's Huracan over here, which orange I think is the color you're supposed to get in a Huracan anyway, or in any Lambo. I like cars that go with the colors, and orange is my color on a Lamborghini, not yellow, it would be orange. We've got a 488 in kind of like a mineral gray, fantastic Ferrari. I'm a 458 guy, and then we've got the 765 LT with Matt. This one's got some carbon buckets in it. This thing is done up, ready for the track. Just a monster of a car. There's nothing else you can say about a 765 other than it's going to eat the road. And then you've got Eric over here with a spec on a Gen 5 Viper with all of their carbon, venomous carbon. I want a Gen 5 Viper. It's just not in my list right now. I have my Gen 2, but I don't really fit in them either. But they just make me go. Then we got the C5 Z06 with all of its track specialties. Going back to ruining cars, this car is extremely capable, and I mean extremely capable, but just goes and goes and goes. And it's just your Corvette Chuck C5 Z06, but I love it, and I built that car. Dave Supra over here, which is pretty cool. You know, when you take in consideration the presentation of a car, you can't deny what he's done with that. And then the Bentley SUV, the Bentayga, which is probably most appropriate for this car. I know my wife would love one of those, and I wouldn't mind one either. The garage space, I think you could shove quite a few cars in here, but what we have here tonight is a pretty diverse and neat way to present this house with automobile engineering. Pretty neat. Take a look in here. The layout is excellent. It gives a very diversified cultural experience when you walk in here. And on top of that, we have different segments of the house that allow you to really feel like you're secluded. It's a really neat property. All the beams on the ceiling. There's Venetian plaster, coppered ceilings. Actually, let's walk through the crowd. The downstairs has a movie room with a stage and changing room, a wine cellar. Let's see here, the patio, I believe, can hold over 100 people for a venue that you might do a wedding or an event. We have the front door entrance. I actually like this side of the house because it's naturally quieter. We have a study in here, private, more secluded upstairs. Fits 4 cars, but I think you can put a lift in on each side and probably get even more out of it. But the property has a really natural feel to it, which is really neat. I like to call it kind of like a Colorado Italian feel, where it's a little bit overgrown, but you just let nature do what it wants. But you have your patios, everything that you could ever want in it. And yeah, just the work on the ceilings and the handrails. Anyway, let's go downstairs. Entertainment space down here is pretty neat. You got a small stage door that's hidden underneath there. I don't know if the lighting can see, but you have a full stage, seating for plenty of people. Mechanical room in the back, which I'm always a nerd for because I like good mechanical. Let's go out to the patio. And this is that space where you could host a rather large party. Yeah, you can't smell this right now, but the pine and the stone, warm on your feet. All in all, I don't know if you're in the market for something like this, but I sure enjoy visiting homes like this. This is a magnitude different than what I have at my ranch. It's a different feel, but this is actually just across 85 from where I live. And well, it's different in a very good way. So that wraps it up for this evening, guys. We are excited to bring you more content when it comes to the Cobra R build that we have to finish up, the Comp Orange Terminator convertible, and of course, finishing up the shop over at Bale Sport. We have all the concrete in. We are ready to make sure the road base is good, because we really need that asphalt to be perfectly smooth like a baby's butt so we can do donuts on it all day long. So I'm excited to be able to bring you more for that. And I do appreciate sharing tonight. Talk to you soon.